And a good Monday evening. Welcome into Time Out here on TVNB. Jim Hennessy alongside Bruce McDonald for the next 30 minutes. Some of the topics we'll be touching on. The Flames snap out of their funk. Thomas Construction Junior B team grows into a funk of their own, and the Ottawa Senators continue their drive to keep the team alive in the capital city. All that and a whole lot more is coming up, so don't go far. And a good Monday evening. Jim Hennessy alongside Bruce McDonald. Welcome into Time Out here on TVNB. And it's nice to have you tuned in. Certainly hope your weekend went well. And certainly hope you're not shoveling too much because, of course, Old Man Winter taking another bite out of us today. And hopefully that won't last too long. Spring is just around the corner. And we certainly hope it's not that far off. Bruce, nice to have you back in the chair.
Good to be here again.
I guess we got to start with the Flames. I mean, they were in a terrible tailspin, 7 straight losses at home. And I mean, the month of February was so important to them simply because they had so many games at home, 13, I think. And it's so important now heading into the stretch drive to build up those points, put them in the bank. But Quebec wasn't doing that well. Lowell snuck out of nowhere and captured everybody. But now Lowell and St. John sit in a tie for second spot as of today. Quebec leads both of those teams by 1 point. So it looks like it's going to be a fight right to the finish. But it doesn't seem like anybody wants to grab this division right now.
No, it really doesn't. You look back about a month's time, and St. John and Quebec were even more or less in points with Portland, who are now leading the league, and Portland is 20 points ahead of those guys now. Unreal. It's incredible to look at it, but it's no surprise any of the fans have gone to the rink. I mean, our team hasn't done anything for the past month, and looking at the scores, Quebec hasn't really either. Lowell's moved up a little bit, but they haven't really played great either. No. Any one of those 3 teams could have run away and hit from the rest of this division.
Absolutely. So. You look at Friday night's game, and a bit of a low point for the franchise, 2,912 in the seats at Harbor Station. Yeah. That is the lowest attended St. John Flames home game in franchise history. But then they rebound Saturday night. It's Irving Oil night. They put a few more butts in the seats. They had well over 5,000, well over 5,500 down at Harbor Station. So good to see that, and good to see them put that win up, because I think if they had gotten that many people in the seats and lost again at home, I think it would have been a real struggle for the rest of this month trying to put some people in those seats.
Well, say what you will, they're all professionals. They're paid to play the game, but when you have almost 6,000 people in the stands, that's going to boost their intensity on the ice, and that certainly helped them. We've said this off camera several times, Jim. I mean, if they only have 3,000 or 3,500 seats sold up to maybe half a day from game time, give some of these seats away to the kids and try to get 5,000 in there. I don't care if they're free or not. Those people will be in there. They'll spend money on the concessions and everything else, and they'll root the team on, and that can only help, in my opinion.
Somebody takes a bite, though, man. Somebody's got to pay the bill.
I know.
And
I know,
that's what the bottom line. I mean, you know that as well as I do.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to take. I look at the team, and I think there are some good, talented players there. I think it was a huge mistake for Rick Vive not to have an assistant coach this year. Yeah. I keep reiterating that point, but I think it was a huge mistake. Like I said, there are some talented players on there, but the goaltending situation is the one that sticks out in my mind the most. It's almost like Grant Fuhr went on the shelf. He was hurt. Freddie Brathwaite pulled the parent club right up, and I mean, led them into the All-Star break over 500. Let's face the facts here. Valerie Bure having a great season. Phil Housley having a great season as well. Parent club in a terrible spin right now. Still do not have a win in the month of February, and they got beaten again on Saturday night against Phoenix. Jean-Sébastien Giguère was in between the pipes. He did let in a weak goal. I think he played fairly well for the amount of ice time he is getting up there. For him to step in behind Brathwaite, that's got to be a big job for him. But you look at the goaltending situation here, we've been depleted. There's no question about it. And if St. John is going to have a legitimate run at the Calder Cup, we've got to get a goaltender.
That's true. They have gone out and they picked up Scott Bailey, a former NHLer. I mean, I saw him play Tuesday night, and he didn't look too bad, really. He hasn't played a lot this year.
Sure.
I didn't get a chance to see 2 games on the weekend because our junior B team was playing the same nights, but 42 saves in the shutout. This kid can't be too bad there. So they're trying right now. Give them a bit of credit there. I mean, we discussed this too. I think you may maybe agree with me here that I think Fuhr might be done. I mean, I mean, it looks
you
like
got to think, they say he could be out for at least, well, it's probably about 20 days at this point, but I talked about it, it was either last week or the week before. 37 years old, brand new knee put into his leg. I think they might have rushed him and got back too soon. And you look at some of the highlights we played from that game, the last game he played on that Wednesday night. He was getting up so slow and so gingerly. You knew he was hurt, and I don't know if he's going to make it back this year or not.
I really have my doubts, and like I say, if that's the case, you'll see Jaguar up there full-time for the rest of the year, and so basically we might be, I won't call these stuck with what we have, but we might have to go with what we have here now.
You bet.
Hopefully one of those two guys can come to the forefront and do the job for us.
Well, either that, trade deadline's coming up. Hopefully, you know, something can be done with Tyler Moss's name keeps coming up. Jimmy Waite was a name that keeps coming up, like a one-for-one trade. Tyler Moss for Jimmy Waite. And Jimmy Waite would be a welcome sight. You know, lots of NHL experience, and I'm sure that he could help this team into that stretch drive. But Nick Polano and the boys have got to get together and say, okay, look, we have to put a conservative effort here. We have got to find a goaltender, because how important is it, like, when you're playing the game, to look back and say, I got lots of confidence in this guy. If I'm a defenseman, maybe if I screw up and miss the puck or he gets by me, I've got a highly rated goaltender I know that's going to put a full conservative effort. Not to say that Bailey and the boys haven't been putting the effort out there, but you've got to, the defenseman, the forwards, the rest of the entire team has got to have that confidence in their goaltender to say, he's the man. But they've been bouncing the goaltenders around so much, and so many new faces brought in, brought out, that it's hard for a team to get familiar with this guy.
No doubt about it. And once again, the goaltender, as we're all aware, is the most important member of your team. If you don't have a good goaltender or a hot goaltender come playoff time, you're not going anywhere, and that's the bottom line.
You bet. And we have some highlights from Saturday night's game. It was a beauty, 3-0 shutout the St. John Flames had over the Hartford Wolfpack. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Aaron Kennedy has the call, high atop Harbor Station.
Almost 6,000 very noisy and very appreciative fans. The St. John Flames played one of their best games of the season. Here's Aaron Kennedy with the highlights.
Is in the Hartford zone. Klochek backhands it ahead. Roach knocks it down, takes the shot, saved Nalichka, and the rebound was cleared. There's going to be a penalty on Daniel Tkachuk for running into the Hartford goaltender. Daniel Tkachuk, 2-on-2, gives it to Petrovicki, bringing it in. Loose puck poked away by Nalichka. A second before Tkachuk could get there. Now Tkachuk at the side of the net, flips it in front. Scoville scores! Last moment. Now Breton works in front, waits, shoots, trips, centers, Nalichka covers up. And then Roach mixes it up with Virtue, and Roach clocks him 2, 3, 4 times with the right hand, and then he lands the left for good measure. This will be an interesting call from referee Conrad Hashi. 49 seconds in the period. Tuzzolino taken out by St. Croix behind the St. John net. St. Croix tried to send it ahead. It hit the referee Hashi again. Daw with his shot, redirected, and what a save by Mathiel. He reached back with the trapper after he felt it pinball between his legs, and he keeps it out. We've got some punches being exchanged by Stock and Staples, and they're going to drop their gloves. PJ Stock and Jeff Staples. They're in the right corner in the St. John zone. Stock trying to get Staples pushed up against the boards. Now Staples comes in with a couple of solid lefts and then a right. Stock has lost his helmet. He knocks Staples to the ice, and the linesman will separate. And Scoville plays it out. Bada just onside, breakaway short, and it backhand. Nalichka makes the save. He got a piece of it. Pazzolino in his own zone loses it to Breton. Bada skating in. Backhand scores! Rink wide pass broken up by Varlamov. He gives it to Roach. Open net. Scores!
As the old song goes, what a difference a day makes, Rick. This was a fantastic game.
Well, it was a complete reversal from last night. We got excellent goaltending tonight, which certainly helped, but our guys played a heck of a lot different than they did last night. They played with a lot more determination and grit than they did last night, and they deserved the win, I thought.
Yeah, it was a great game. Mathiel seems to rise to the occasion on more than once, especially 10-minute mark in the third period on that clear breakaway. Wonderful play.
Well, I mean, this is something that we've been looking for 2 months, for somebody to come in and stand up and win us a hockey game like that, and he certainly did a heck of a job to help us do that tonight. He made some fabulous saves, kept us in the game, and allowed us to keep going and just get that second goal, that shorthanded goal, and then the empty net goal. But he was excellent. But our whole team, and we were shorthanded, and then we're given a 10-minute misconduct, and you know, I mean, the guys dug deep. I couldn't be happier.
You overcame a lot of adversity for the win, and that must be very pleasing to you.
Well, I think it makes it that much sweeter when you're shorthanded like we were, and end up with guys in the box a lot during the night. Some guys logged an awful lot of ice time. Some guys logged 30 minutes of ice time, and that's a lot. And they did a heck of a job, and they ought to be commended for the way they stepped up and picked up their game from last night. And I just hope that they remember how it feels after this game and how what they had to put into it to achieve this, because in this or anything else, you only get out of something what you put in, and they put a lot in tonight, and I'm sure they're feeling pretty good about what they got out right now.
I'm sure they are. Just to take a moment to talk about the heroes of hockey. You're just back from Toronto and had a very successful game, a couple of goals, and saw Build your Lego again. That must have been fun.
It's a fabulous weekend. I can't say enough about the show that Toronto and the National Hockey League put on, and for the 50th All-Star game, and I was pleased to get the opportunity to go, get to see Billy and a lot of the other guys I played with. I don't believe that a weekend like that will be duplicated again. It was probably not in my lifetime anyway. It was fabulous.
All right, Rick Vive, coach of the St. John Flames. Good luck with the rest of the homestand for February.
Thank you very much.
Sean Mathiel, the goalie for the St. John Flames tonight, a superb 42-stop performance. Sean, congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I can't, contribute all to myself. The team played great, and it's nice to have a win.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. You had a great game, a clear breakaway in the third period at about the 10-minute mark, and sort of set the tone for the whole game. You must have felt good about that.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I won in my glove, to be honest. But I think that helped the team out. If they would have scored, who knows, the momentum might have switched and went their way. So I think it was a key save at the time.
What do you find different about the American Hockey League as compared to the East Coast Hockey League, Sean?
I'd have to say the guy's size and the way they shoot, they get the puck right off the stick right away. In the East Coast, maybe a split second later, but the guys up here, they're pretty quick and big boys.
Yeah, you're from the West Coast, but you're used to the East Coast. You were in New Hampshire for 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah, I went to the University of New Hampshire and was there for 4 years, and obviously now I'm in Richmond, Virginia, I'm in St. John, New Brunswick right now, but I just came from Richmond, Virginia, so been in the East Coast for a while.
Yeah. Well, how do you like St. John? I know you've just been here for a while, but have you had a chance to look around?
I haven't even stepped outside. I just go from the hotel, walk over on the Pedway or whatever they call it, and so I don't even know how cold it is outside, to tell you the truth.
It's nippy, let me tell you. Yeah. Well,
probably a lot colder than Virginia right now.
You had a great game tonight, and we hope that you continue for the rest of the homestand here.
Thanks, I really appreciate that.
At Harbor Station, Earl Smith for timeout.
Thank you, Earl. We appreciate all your time and effort down at Harbor Station on Saturday, and a well-deserved win, 3-0. Sean Mathiel, could he be the goaltender of the future? It's yet to be seen. He sounds like he's been living out of his suitcase for the past couple of months, but I mean, he comes in, he steps it forward, and a great performance. Like he said, he had a lot of help out in front of him as well, and I mean, that's what the Flames need, is a total team effort, because, like we said, you don't have any outstanding, step-out superstar on that team, and I mean, they're going to have to come together as a unit if they really want to make some noise heading into the playoffs.
Well, like you say, Mathiel's got the credentials there coming in here, 4 years of college hockey in the States. I mean, you have to look back about 3 weeks ago, and Frederick Duchesne had a 39-save shutout too. So
you bet.
I like to see this guy do it a few more times then before we really jump on the bandwagon. But
oh no, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. You jump on the bandwagon. All I'm saying is, it takes a lot to be traveling around, bouncing from team to team, and all of a sudden stepping in and saying, "There you go."
That's true. We just discussed that too. He got here at 5 o'clock Friday. He started Friday night's game. Obviously, he wasn't ready to play, and you get yanked in the second period. I don't know who we can blame that one on. But anyway, he comes back rested on Saturday and does the job. We'll see what he does Wednesday night against Rochester.
Yeah, they certainly do have a tough schedule. They play the Rochester Americans on Wednesday night, and then 2 games against Providence on the weekend. So if the Flames look to, or want to look to continue their winning ways, they're going to have their work cut out for them. There's no question about it as the week rolls along. And we've got more to talk about as the show rolls along. We certainly hope you come back after the break. Heading into the break over the weekend, Simons High Seabees played host to the JV Provincial Boys Basketball Championship. I knew I'd get it right. Simons and Fredericton played in the championship game on Saturday afternoon, and Ed Poley had a chance to catch some of the highlights for us.
Mike Thomas, 23, Jordan Burton, 24, Nick Doyle. Square to the basket, he's a very deadly scorer.
And there's Monroe, and he slips the body in, draws some contact, puts it up.
Anyway, the Seabees are going through the last 5 seconds. Derek McRae puts up a 3-point shot. Sheldon Palmer finishes the game with the ball in his hand. It's a victory, second consecutive victory, 88-71, Simons High School Seabees, and they are electric.
And a standing ovation for this crew, and they deserve it. The Provincial JV Men's Basketball Championship, Simons High School Seabees! A wonderful game, coaches, wonderful game. This is Coach Scott Wallace here, and Scott's second year in a row. Some of these players have been with you 2 years. What's it going to feel like to lose once in a while? This is a tough thing to repeat, but you got some great grade 9s coming behind.
Yeah, it's going to happen again. It's only a matter of time. 3-peat. Oh, yeah, that's going to happen.
The 3-peat. You heard it here. The 3-peat, you heard it here. Now, we got Coach Brian McLean. It seemed today that Fredericton just couldn't get into the game, that the guys made the stops when they had to. Exceptional game. Didn't even have to use probably your best weapon, which is your press.
That's right. These kids were focused today, and they really wanted this win, and they certainly deserve it. It's been a great year.
I think bring on the varsity team. What do you say, guys? Yeah. Bring on the varsity team.
To the stage with some of the finest homegrown and Canadian music talent as host Gary Boole takes you for a rock and roll roller coaster ride on the best of Friday Night Rocks every Friday night at 10 on TVNB. It won't be long. Catch a glimpse of some of the finest up-and-coming country music with performances and interviews. Saddle up for the Wild Wild East. You'll love the ride on Maritime Country Friday evening at 8 and Saturday night at 10 on TVNB.
And welcome back into Time Out here on TVNB. Jim Hennessy sitting alongside Bruce McDonald, second half of the program. Thank Ed Poley for that report from Simons High School. Congratulations to the Simons J Junior varsity team. I always screw that up whenever I try to say it. I don't know why, but anyway, congratulations to the team. 2 years in a row. And was Ed a little bit excited?
Yeah, I get really excited there. I wonder who he was rooting for during that game.
Yeah, it was really hard to tell. We should make mention as well, the AAA Midget Flames, who have just had a dismal season, only 3 wins on the year. They will begin their playoffs this coming Saturday. They'll take on the Canadian Peninsula. Not quite sure what time the game is going to get underway or what arena it's going to be in, because they're still trying to get some ice time situated with all the teams getting ready to start the playoffs in the AAA Midget League. So to the Flames, hey, you had a tough regular season, but I know you'll get out there and show your best as the playoffs get underway this coming weekend. Thomas Construction Junior team had a horrible weekend. A couple of losses. Tell us about them.
Yeah, we really did. We went into the weekend with 3 straight wins, and we were really feeling confident. Went up to Rishabakta, we were short some players due to injuries, and we lost up there 6-1 on Friday night. We really, I don't know if we really expected to win up there or not. They're a very tough team, a big team, but basically we got run over up there, let's be honest. They really intimidated the team, I thought. I hate to say that. The coach would be mad at me for that one, but it really looked that way. And then, you know, that was fine. We took that loss, and we were really confident still going into Blacks Harbor on Saturday night to play Charlotte County. We had beaten those guys 3 times this year, and went in there, and we got some shaky goaltending down there, and once again, we had 3 more players out hurt from the Rishabakto game. So we had some affiliate stress, but still we outshot them down there. Some defensive miscues from our defensemen, and like I say, a couple of shaky goals cost us that game 8-5. So now we were in a situation where we could more or less, you know, make our own fate for us and come up against the playoffs who we wanted to. Sure. Now we got to wait and get some help and hope that Shippagan and Sussex and these guys don't pass us.
Now you've been, the team has been booted out of the playoffs in the first round the first 2 years, and this of course the 3rd year, and a lot of people, a lot of fans who followed the team are looking for the team, and I'm sure the boys are as well, to make that leap and get that monkey off their back. Is it possible, Bruce? I mean, have you got, is the team molded together, right?
We do have a team that can do it. We have to get the goaltending, that's the key right now in my opinion. Get the goaltending. Woodstock was down a week ago. We beat those guys 6-3 for the first time this year. Sure. We could face them again in the playoffs in the first round. Who knows? We've lost 4 straight 2 years in a row to those guys.
That's right.
We're hoping to meet Stanley, who was in, we're going to be at the LBR this Saturday night in a makeup game. Right. We feel we match up with those guys better than Woodstock, Fredericton, or Rishabakto at this point. We feel if we can face them, get that series under our belts, and go from there. But now, who knows what's going to happen.
Game time at the LBR Saturday night?
7 o'clock Saturday night.
7 o'clock. So make sure you get out there and support the Junior B hockey team. They've been putting on a great show, and as they head into the playoffs, they need all the fan support they can get. We'll flip back to the NHL, and a team that's close to our heart, the Montreal Canadiens. Just a real nightmare of a story, and the injury bug continues to plague Montreal this year, but that's not the total excuse as to why they're playing as bad as they are. But you look at a guy like Malakoff, and he's supposed to be their defenseman of the future, and this guy's been out and hurt for, you know, the better part of the season. Then all of a sudden it comes to revelation that he was fine. He was out skiing, and when he could have been back in the lineup trying to help this team out, I mean, with the injury to Trent McCleary, almost a life-ending injury to Trent McCleary, and they needed all the help they could get, and this guy's out skiing instead of being suited up and in the lineup. What's going on with this guy?
Then he says he didn't realize skiing was against team policy. The guy's out with a blown knee. He's missed the first 58 games of the regular season. Yeah. He's out skiing. Like we said earlier, what's the most common skiing injury out there? Maybe torn knee ligaments?
Yes.
Would that be it?
Yes,
maybe?
that would be correct.
Oh, my. And then he says he didn't realize it was against... What's the difference if it's against team policy or not? Use your head. Come on. I mean,
anybody would know. I mean, it's the same thing as if you call in to work sick Monday morning, and then all of a sudden you're out at one of the local watering holes having a steak and a beer with the boys, and your boss happens to walk in and says, "Oh, hey, man, how you doing?" I guess that cold's feeling better. Yeah, I'm doing great. Just thought this might clear my chest up. Right. I mean, I don't know what this guy's thinking, and, you know, you look at the whole situation with Montreal, and they need everybody they can get this year. I mean, the rumor is that Jeff Hackett could be on the move before the trade deadline comes up. The interesting trade that I keep hearing about is Dominic Hasek could be on the move to Philadelphia for the Beezer.
I've heard that.
Now, who's going to win now?
Well, it'll be more than the Beezer, I think.
Well, Van Beesbrook has gotten a real raw deal in Philadelphia. I mean, he's played well. Yeah, he's getting a little long in the tooth. He's not 22 years old anymore, but I think he's gotten a raw deal. Keith Primo's out of the lineup with a cracked rib now. He could be gone for at least 3 weeks, maybe a month. But I think Philadelphia has a legitimate shot. But if you throw Hasek into the fold, man, the hurting could be over in Philadelphia for the Stanley Cup.
Well, you know, I really like to be Keith Primo. What's he played 4 games this year now? He'll get how many million? Oh, nice job, nice job.
Hey, it works good, man, if you can get it.
Yeah, the rumors are Hatzik's going there. I mean, it'd be interesting to see with him there. You know, they obviously become the favorites right away to win the Cup, in my opinion. But if he goes there, yeah, the Bees will probably go the other way. I don't know if Buffalo's interested in having him, to be honest.
Yeah.
They got young Baron there.
He's 37 years old.
You know, if he goes there, they might end up packaging him off somewhere else before the year's off, too. So if that happens, don't expect them to stay in Buffalo. I mean, they'll go with Baron there, and they've got a young Finnish goalie in Rochester now. So
and Rolison, that would be his ticket out of Buffalo, I would think.
If he stays there,
yeah, exactly. Well, his contract's up at the end of this season, so whether or not they sign him, it's not looking good right now. But Dwayne, we sure could use you here in St. John.
The Columbus Blue Jackets, maybe.
Well, the Blue Jackets, no question about it. But if Rolison's looking to wrap up his career or whatever, like, be a nice fitting touch, maybe to slide back here.
Nick Polana wouldn't send him here, would he? He'd send them down to Kansas City or Utah.
We could take them. Forget about it. We want it.
Exactly.
All right. So that's just about it, man. I appreciate the time.
Thanks, Jim.
Another Monday has come and gone, and we appreciate your time as well. Certainly hope to see you back here next Monday at 7 o'clock. As we leave you tonight, Earl Smith, Saturday night, had a chance to sit down and talk to Flames play-by-play man Aaron Kennedy about Skate with the Flames. It is coming up. It's just around the corner. Here's what the boys had to say, and we thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll see you again next Monday at 7 o'clock. Have a great week.
Aaron, I want to talk about the Skate with the Flames a little bit. The Flames are continuing this project after having thought of shelving it at one time. Is it still a go this year?
It's going to go this year on Sunday, February the 20th. It's really one of the biggest fundraisers of the season for the St. John Flames, and it's something that they've been doing since day one, and it's really a great opportunity for the kids in St. John to come out and get a chance to skate with the Flames, and that's the name of the program, and they really enjoy the opportunity to get out and skate with their hockey heroes. And to a lot of the kids out there, the St. John Flames are their heroes, and I guess the biggest benefit is to the St. John Learning Exchange. I know the people down there, Mary Snow and Tom Mannell, put in a ton of work behind the scenes to make this a reality. Last year they raised over $33,000, which was the most successful skate ever, and they're hoping for even bigger and better numbers this year.
What is the background? How did the Flames happen to pick this as a sort of a community project?
I'm not really that familiar with the background, but I know that it's something that I guess early on when Alan Miller was the director of operations with the team and Steve Patterson was their promotions manager, that they were approached by the Learning Exchange, and they wanted to have a unique fundraiser where I guess it doesn't have as much of an impact if you have, you know, a skate every weekend with the Flames, but where you only have that one event each season, and they've always done it later in the year in February or March, where you get so many kids out here. And if you've ever been to the event on that particular Sunday, it's just phenomenal. There's a lot of things going on the concourse with various events and clowns and face painting and magicians and things like that, and then just the kids out there on the ice. And I think if the truth be told, the kids don't do that much skating. They just kind of surround the players and ask for autographs, but they're out there on skates and they really enjoy themselves.
Yeah, it's a good project. There's plans to continue it into the foreseeable future, you think?
I think that's something that the Flames are definitely looking forward to doing next year. The fact that there was some talk that it wasn't going to occur this year was something that lasted basically about 24 hours last year. There was some discussions, well, are we going to continue it? And the Flames made an emphatic yes, and I know the Learning Exchange is really excited about it.